verse. Add value to my work, check the volume on my work. You get what you give, and I'm loving all the perks. Easy gift and the curse, make them check another verse.
What's good, world? Easy said and done. We gotta do some sports today, man. Cause I've been watching. It's been NBA playoffs, and I'm just letting days slide by and giving no input. What I think, who I like to win it all. So one game I tried to watch, but it was such a massacre. We in today's the 12th of May, 2025. So last night I tried to watch the Indiana Cleveland game 4, if I'm correct. It was game 4, and Indiana beat these boys down. And this is a Cleveland team I like, bruh. I love Donovan Mitchell. I love their setup with their starting five. You got the two big men in Allen and Mobley. You know what I mean? I love Garland at the point. And I don't want to make excuses for nobody, but Cleveland had dealt with some injuries. After game 1, I believe, Garland got hurt. Garland came into the series hurt, to be honest with you, right? Garland got hurt, and then after game 1, I think it was Mobley, I believe. I believe it was Mobley. Mobley and Hunter, DeAndre Hunter, got hurt. And that's one of their better players off the bench. So I'm like, I don't want to make excuses, but it's hard to watch sports without key people, and you want to sit there and act like it didn't affect the game. Now, you give it to Indiana. It's your job to go out there and play regardless of who's hurt on the other team. Y'all boys is missing. We're not finna lay down just because you got 3 starters out. This was game. They already was down 2 games, right? Or 1-0. No, 2-0. Then the third game, Indiana was up 2-0. Then the third game, Cleveland got those 3 starters back, and they won decisively. But you still down 2-1. But I'm like, okay, we got a series. That built up for game 4, right? It's 2-1. Cleveland got 8 starters back. Cleveland been the best team in the East record-wise all season. But it's like Cleveland got a curse. If you watch basketball, they've won 1 championship, and that was when LeBron, after he was drafted by these boys, he left and came back and won one with them. Him and Kyrie Irving, right? But Cleveland in basketball, really, Cleveland, it's just, they have a tough time with all sports. The Browns, I think the Indians might have won it once in baseball. But, some cities just, ugh, it's rough. And Cleveland, one of them. But I liked their team this year because I love Donovan Mitchell. I love Garland at the point. I love Mobley and Mobley and Allen. They're power forward center. Like, they taking it back to the throwback days of having 2 trees in the paint instead of having that one big man who steps out the at the 3-point line taking threes. He can rebound a little bit and give you putbacks and defend the rim a little bit, but at the end of the day, that's the new era of basketball. These centers that are really more like power forwards that can get down the paint sometimes. There's very few teams that got a big man that play like what we were. If you watch basketball long enough, what big men have always kind of done and played in the block, rebound, protect the rim, and Cleveland got 2 of them. Best record in the East all season, but Indiana is a good team, and I like Indiana. They're a basketball team. They have a squad, right? Like, when you draw up basketball and the fundamentals of how it's played, Indiana executes that. They pass it well. They take good shots. No one man forces too many shots. You know what I mean? They got 3 guys that can play point guard for them at a high level. You know what I mean? They got a big man in Turner in the paint. You got a man like Toppin come off the bench. High flyer can play inside, and then they got a little outside game too. Like, I like Indiana, man. But I thought Cleveland could beat these people. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. They Cleveland out of there, right? Cleveland got smashed last night, destroyed, mollywopped, right? They was as down by as much as 40. Man, I started watching Netflix when the game was on. Man, I was done. I was like, this is a wrap. It's like when you play the game on the sticks, you play with the homies and you got a homie waiting, you got a doubling effect. So the next man can play. We're not finna watch you get dragged for 4 quarters. It was football or basketball. Once it was a certain point, you know he ain't coming back, bro. Put the stick down, man. Let somebody else play. That's what that was last night. Cleveland put the stick down. We ready for the next game. Now they're down 3-1. And I'm just seeing a report on ESPN about Donovan Mitchell. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the whole game. I'm finding out he got hurt last night. He's day to day. You know, because that's how the NBA works. Once a team kind of knows they out of there, all of a sudden people ain't gonna play. They lay it down. You know what I mean? 3-1 is pretty tough. The only way they got a shot is they got to win this next game. They got to win this next game. And if I stand correct, it's in Cleveland though. I'm almost positive it's in Cleveland. Yeah, if this is the old format. It's 2 in Cleveland, 2 in Indiana. There should be 1 in Cleveland, 1 in Indiana, and the last one in Cleveland. So I hope Donovan is straight. It says a game time decision. Knowing Donovan, he gonna go out there because this man he gets his kind of luck. He had it when he was at Utah, and he had good teams at Utah, but it just didn't happen. You go to Cleveland, and it's the same thing. This happened last year with Cleveland because Allen got hurt going into their first round playoff. They beat Orlando, but they lost Allen, and then when they played, I think it was Boston next. They didn't have nothing for him. You know what I'm saying? Like Mitchell's a great player, but I want to see a team at full strength. I do, and when I watch a team beat another team not at full strength, the game it just loses some luster for me. So, you know, I commend Indiana. They got a great team, man. They got a great team, like for real. Siakam, Ness. I love Siakam. Siakam's their like go-to guy. Like they need a bucket, it's Siakam. He's an all-star. He's been an all-star a few times. He got a nice little mid-range game. He can shoot from the outside. He can put the ball on the floor. He's like 6'7". He's like 6'8", 6'9". You know what I mean? But the part of the Indiana I love is this point guard trio they have of Nembhard, Halliburton, and then McCollum, bro. All 3 of these dudes play point guard very well. And it's infectious with the rest of the team. They pass the ball well, they take good shots, and they're deep. They play good team defense. Like Indiana, I root for them for the sake of basketball. You know, for the sake of sometimes you get tired of watching teams and that one dude try to carry a team because everybody can't be LeBron or Mike or Kobe. Sometimes you need a team effort, and you can win with a team effort. You know what I mean? To these other series, um, like tonight, right? Who also played last night? Um, um, damn, who else played last night besides Cleveland? The earlier game was OKC and Denver. That series right there, the best series in the league right now. It's the best series of the playoffs. They 2-2. You got OKC, this young team, best record in the league all year. They was just dragging people during the regular season. But when it's playoff time, their youth shows. And they're playing a team in Denver who's a very good team in the West. You know, the West is deep. 1 through 8 in the West is legit 48 wins or better. Like, it's ridiculous how the West's been like that ever since Mike stopped playing. Um, um, Denver's number 4. Denver's won a championship just not last season, but the season before last. Same starting 5 from that same championship team, and they show it when it's playoff time and clutch moments. They elevate their game, right? That's what OKC and them are battling. OKC got this young team that's full of talent, full of youth, but Denver's experience shows at the right time. OKC escaped with one last night, but it was a hell of a game. See, that's what you want to watch, basketball. Like, OKC almost fumbled the bag. I love SGA, but it's moments I feel like it's just that one-on-one, let the star player carry the team. He got other players. Williams is nice too. Let Williams help you, bro. You ain't got to do it by yourself. Let Williams come in and get you some buckets when you need them. Straight up. Let Williams put in work. Because Williams are all-star too, young. Like, they should run a little more offense. It's like too much one-on-one at the end with them. Denver got pick and roll on smash when Murray and the Joker. Jokic, how you say his name. They got a pick and roll go-to play. And Porter and Gordon and it don't matter if it's Westbrook or if it's Brown, they know what to do when they're running a pick and roll with them two. Because Joker and Murray both know how to pass that bitch. They'll catch you with the right cut or if you open in the corner. So it shows in the end in crunch time when it's time for execution. Denver moves at a different level. OKC be relying on his talent and his youth, but the inexperience shows in the wrong time. But the series is going to go to 7. I'm telling you right now. The series going to 7, and I still don't. I want to pick OKC, but I feel like they still got learning. They're missing a piece, man. I'm not a fan of I hate that I ain't got this man name on the top. Their big man, the one out of Gonzaga. You feel me? I'm not a fan of this kid. I feel like he's too light. You feel me? He's too light. He's too light in the ass. I see him get moved off the block too much. You know what I mean? Holmgren, Chet Holmgren. He's too light. That boy need to get that weight room, bro. He get moved off too easy. He don't finish at the rim all the time. When he's playing well, he looks like a superstar because he can shoot. You know what I mean? He's a shot blocker. But I need you to do all the big man stuff. I need you to finish up, get rebounds at crucial times, and he don't do that sometimes. You know what I mean? And he's like 7'1", 7'2". Like, it's a little bit like, come on, man. Like, you got to get stronger, for real. If they had a big man that played at a certain level where he's at, OKC would be up 3-1 on this Denver team. I'm telling you. That's the only, to me, that chink. And that big man, you can run pick and roll, and you just can't run it with Buddy. Like, they don't go to him in that moment. They don't trust him finishing at the rim. I'm telling you. That's bad. That's not good. That's not good to look away to somebody who a lot of people say got all this upside. But we'll see. If I'm correct, game 5 is tomorrow. Definitely gonna be a blockbuster because both of these teams want it. OKC, I give it to OKC. They're a hell of an organization. This is the team. This is the franchise that introduced us to Durant, Harden, and Westbrook on the same squad. We're trying to have conversations with dudes, and they always talk about the what ifs with these guys. Man, and they ain't lying. I tell them they did right trading off Harden. They had too much. They were good with star power. You still had Durant and Westbrook. That's all you needed. And Durant and Westbrook had Golden State by the neck. I forgot what year it was. 3-1 in Blue Rec. So that lets you know they knew what they were doing, letting go of Harden. Because Harden was a superstar and they weren't going to be able to keep him. He was going to get disgruntled. He was going to start screaming for more money that they weren't going to pay him. So let him go. Get some more role players. They had a squad. They still were one of the better teams in the West when they let Harden go. Westbrook and Durant, both, all these dudes are Hall of Famers. Like, they were fine with just them two. But, and this is my beef with Westbrook. That little wishy-washy shit came out the wrong time. Instead of just letting Durant take over, he wanted to step in and take shots, and he was turning over. But man, he's still hella quick, but he turns the ball over a lot. He don't have a slow down game. When he get the ball, the only time he slows down is when he defers. He get a pass and he just run the offense, and then just swing it. You know what I mean? Or get in, just dump it down low to Joker. But he don't have an in between game on knowing to gear down and then gear back up, which is and he's a streaky as fuck shooter, still streaky. You thought him being older and playing the league this long, his jumper got better. He's still streaky. He can hit him, but it's hella if 50-50. So you know, let's move on to these other series because there's some games coming on tonight, right? I think it's gonna be a mega one tonight. I gotta watch this one. New York and Boston. This is two, like, for them dudes that watch basketball since the 60s, 70s, throwback franchises. Been great. I mean, New York don't got a lot of rings, but they got a lot of basketball history. And a lot of people that made history in there in the Madison Square Garden. It's like the most famous basketball court in the NBA. Times when Jordan went in there and LeBron went in there and Kobe went in there. A lot of it's against the Knicks. You know what I mean? But it's still like the world watches when it's at Madison Square Garden. They've had some good teams too. They just don't win rings. I can't remember when they won one. I'm pretty sure it was talking about 60s and 70s. I gotta go back and do my research. You know what I mean? But when they're even competitive, the biggest city in the United States, which is New York, be packed in the Madison Square Garden and going crazy. Listen, I live in Miami, and Miami got a real New York connection. A lot of New Yorkers are down here. Bruh, they come out like it's retarded how they be out when the Knicks are doing their thing. Oh my God, they'll let you know right then and there, baby. All of a sudden, somebody you knew and they've been living in Miami for however long, all of a sudden they get to let you know that they was really living in New York this amount of years or grew up there. They just moved down here a long time ago. But when these Knicks get to playing well, just like Miami, the Dolphins and the Jets, straight beef. They don't like each other. You see, Heat and the Knicks don't like each other. Miami and New York are intertwined. All sports. The Mets and the Marlins are in the same. I think they just know that about it. The Heat and Miami and New York, because every sport they're in the same division. Everyone, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, and hockey. I don't watch hockey like that, but I bet you if I look it up, the Rangers or the Islanders, probably the Rangers, because that's the more famous New York teams in the same division as the Panthers. I'm telling you, man, they know New York and Miami just got this. I think people that got connections to New York and we have a connection to these leagues already know how many New Yorkers be down here. You need to just put them in the same division because you're gonna sell tickets every time New York and Miami see each other in anything. But Boston, this is the franchise that got the most championships. They just won one. They look like with Cleveland dipping like they did with the injuries. Indiana played them last year in the Eastern Conference Finals, though, and I know Indiana gonna want that rematch because they got the same team. I'm talking about the exact same team. I don't think they made any changes. No, only change they made was a couple of draft picks. Who are man? The Indiana can go. They can play 10 players, no dip and play at all. I love that about Indiana. But Boston can go like 8, 9 deep too, and they got two mega stars in Tatum and Brown. But New York got their mega star in Jalen Brunson, considered the most clutch player in the league right now, and he is, dog. He is. He is the best player New York's seen since Ewing, for without a doubt. That kid is just pressure. But I don't know if I can see them being Boston. That's another series. It's gonna go 7. Because New York want that championship. The Knicks want that ring, but Brunson need a number 2 bad. Like Karl Anthony Towns, he's got talent. He had a great regular season, but he did the same thing in Minnesota. He kind of folds. Like he don't with all that size and gifts. Like the man he can dribble. He can shoot the 3. He's like 7 foot, 6'11", right? He can rebound, but when it's time to be dominant, with his that skill set, he disappears. He did the same thing in Minnesota last year. They breezed through teams they should have beat, or they had enough more talent than last year. Minnesota got to the Western Conference Final. When it was time to elevate and they needed him to do it, like it couldn't just be Edwards, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like, I'm not mad at because Tom Thibodeau, the Knicks coach, he been coached this dude, man. He coached him at Minnesota and he coached him where did it was somewhere before, if I'm correct, before Minnesota. Karl Anthony Towns played with Thibodeau. It might just be Minnesota, but Tom Thibodeau was over there too, the coach of the Knicks. He's a great coach because the Knicks, to win in New York and deal with that pressure. It's like the Cowboys. That's what it was. The difference is they ain't won rings. It's like the Cowboys won rings in Super Bowl. But as far as what people expect from New York basketball and the fandom, and it's they expect to win and fill that stadium up. So they need a winning product. Winning championships is another level, but you still need to do something in New York. So, but I like Boston. Can't lie. I gotta go. I love Brown, man. Tatum, I love Tatum too because I'm a Duke fan, right? And I've been watching Tatum. He is kind of like Carl Anthony. He kind of fades away when you need him, need him. But yeah, because he's got a mean skill set too. That man's like 6'10". He got a Durant game, right? He don't got the jumper like Durant, but he can shoot the three. He can shoot mid range, but he got a physique and length that he should get to the rim whenever he want to. But he don't know when to do that. That's Tatum's problem, and it irks you when you watch basketball and you see your dude, and it's like, bruh, turn it on, like turn on the killer instinct. That's why people argue, and I hate to go this conversation, but we got to talk basketball. LeBron does that. He has that. He don't have that killer. All that talent he got, he wins because he got other niggas next. That's why he always want to play with somebody because he needs somebody to defer to when he not ready to take over. When you look at him like, bruh, ain't nobody out here gonna stop you. Like, go get that. And I love Wade for being the one to tell him, like, nigga, stop with the giving it. Even though we all know the legend Wade is, Wade looking at you like, bruh, you tripping that you think I'm gonna do this without you leading the way. I'll got your back. But and I don't want to make it about LeBron. It's just you got players that don't have that, that they don't give a F. They finna win this bitch. You know what I'm saying? A great example of a player that was like that that didn't have the physique and the size. Manu Ginobili, when he was with the Spurs. You had Duncan and Parker, but when they needed shit at the Spurs and it was like crunch time, yo, Manu, and then I watched Manu go at Kobe for years. They used to battle. Manu was like, we not losing with his Spurs team on his back. Like, and he got a raw squad with a great coach, but that was his job because he could handle the rock, shoot the three, take you off the dribble. Like Tony Parker didn't have all that in his arsenal. He had a off the dribble game, but it was like pick and roll and then get to the basket. Manu straight can one on one you, right? And I'm telling you, so you got to like who got the skill set to be to take it to that level and want it too, right? So Boston be missing Tatum be slacking in that, but Brown, Jaylen Brown got that. He'll go get it. He did that shit last year. He like, fuck a Tatum, I got it. That's why they made him the highest paid player right before Tatum came right behind him. And they're the 1 and 2 highest paid players in the NBA. I salute that organization. I'm a Lakers fan, and that's our rival. Historically, they got the most rings. We're right behind them. They got 18. We got 17. We don't play these people in the championship game 5, 6 times. Right? It go back to all type of legends that touch the court on both franchises. But I respect Boston because they, for the last 15, 20 years, have been so on point with their organization. It's retarded. I can't remember them. They've been winning. They won a championship last year, but they've been competitive for the last 20 years. Like, hell of a job. But I mean, when Isaiah Thomas was there, not Isaiah that played for Detroit, the other Isaiah and had Detroit raw. They had Kyrie over there for a year. Like Brad Stevens came from the Butler University and came over there and did a hell of a job. He did such a good job. They made him a vice president of like they elevated him, find another coach. Like they're a machine now. Just getting it together. Like they did the damn thing when they went and got Brown and Tatum, 2 young bucks, but they make sure they put vets around them. They don't just got a bunch of babies. Like, okay, see, that's their problem. They're too young. Boston got Brown and Tatum. Then you got White, but they got the OG Horford and Holiday. You know what I'm saying? They got a mean bench. I could see Boston winning it again. You know, it'd be interesting to see who they play. You want to see who else is there? Let me see. Oh, the other game tonight is Minnesota and Golden State. And this is sad because this is like the Cleveland situation. Golden State had a legit shot to beat in Minnesota when Stephen Curry, one of the greatest players we ever watched play, not just shooter, player. That boy is a hooper, right? He's the greatest shooter of all time, but the boy hoops. I watched him beat the Rockets, like the number 2 seed in the West. I'm like, this is why this dude is one of the greatest ever. Like this, the Golden State team is not good like that, but when Curry's out there, they are good. But unfortunately, right now Curry's hurt, and Minnesota's up 2-1, and you got an up and coming superstar, in Anthony Edwards. Like the boy's about to be the face of the NBA. He is it. The only other dude I would put in the face category is maybe Tatum. For this, like LeBron is about to walk away. Tatum or Edwards, maybe SGA. SGA is starting to shine too right now. You know what I mean? But Anthony Edwards is phenomenal. You know what I mean? But he still needs Minnesota's only go as far as Julius Randle goes, because Edwards, you know, you're finna get high level play, but Julius Randle is wishy. It's here and there with his game. I feel like they need another player. Julius need to be the third option. You know what I mean? He need to be the third option. They need another like legit gangster with Edwards, and they'll win a championship like nobody's business. It's over with if you get him somebody else that's legit though. Like not nobody that gonna take his star, but man, his sidekick, the Curry and Thompson, the Jordan and Pippen, the LeBron and Kyrie, or LeBron and Davis. You know what I mean? The Shaq and Kobe. See, that was a mean tandem right there. Two like elite Hall of Famers, but they were two different positions, so it worked beautifully. You know what I mean? It's a little harder when it's like Thompson and Curry because they both perimeter players, but they made it work because they sprayed you to death with them threes. You know what I mean? Pippen and Jordan, and what made them work was the one was defense. They both were outstanding defenders, right? But Pippen knew how to let Jordan do his thing, and once Jordan needed a little bit of help, here come Pip. See what I'm saying? So Edwards just needs that but this series, if, I love Jimmy Butler, but Jimmy needs Curry out there. See, he did good in Miami because he had a little young gunning squad. He had Bam and Hero and Duncan Robinson, and he had all type of help in Miami. He was the perfect like leader of all that young talent. Golden State they don't really got a lot of young. They got a good defensive team, but they don't have enough firepower, bro. Not for Minnesota, who's a great defensive team themselves. And they got a couple of young gunners outside of Edwards. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even gonna talk too much. I already know Minnesota, man. They're just if Curry. They already talking about Curry. It might get lucky getting him in Game 5. We talking the game we about to watch is Game 3 or Game 4, right? So I'm like, I don't. It don't look good for Golden State. You know what I mean? But in Western Conference, Eastern Conference Finals, gonna be blockbuster. This one basketball fire, man. It really is. You know, but that's my take right now. I finally had a time to keep up with basketball. It's a little, basketball they play every day, and you got to keep up with it. But I love the game, and I know it's gonna be some great. And I love watching it. This is when you really see the great ones make a name for themselves. So let's sit back and relax. Sit back, pull up, whatever you sipping on. Watch some good basketball. We'll get back at you. It's your boy Easily Done. Peace.